Hello, welcome to Tabletop CP. And today is update number 1 for the 8th Army build project. So Sikhs it is. I was debating at the end of the plan video if I was going to do Sikhs or stick with 8th Army for the versatility. I've decided to go with the Sikhs. I just couldn't resist. They're so cool looking and they have a great history. So Ball of Fire Division is what I'm going to be going for. 5th Indian Division. And I'm glad that I went with these guys. They look great. They're very easy to put together. This is all the infantry I had, the 36 from the starter box, plus the extra sprue, all built. So they're set up right now and built for chain of command. And as I said in the plan videos, it's much easier to build a bolt action army out of a chain of command platoon than vice versa. So for chain of command, this is how we're set up. We have 3 sections and a headquarters element. Each section consists of a 6-man rifle team, a 3-man Bren team, and an NCO with a submachine gun. So we got 3 of those. And then for the headquarters section, we have a lieutenant. He's going to be a Sikh lieutenant. He's armed with a pistol. There he is with the whistle. We have a platoon sergeant with SMG. We have the boys AT rifle. And then we have the 2-inch mortar. I built some extras as well. So we have a sniper team. So this guy gave Kitbashing a little bit. I took some arms from the USMC box to give this guy kind of a slung SMG and a pair of binoculars. And then I cut that scope off of a Fallschirmjäger assault rifle. So it's probably not what a British scope looked like, but it's just to get the point across that they're a sniper team. I also built a mortar spotter, who again I took some arms. I believe these were arms from the Grenadier box. Had to be rolled up sleeves to match the rest of the army, and I found binoculars and a map, and I put them on one of the kneeling bodies. And then we have our lieutenant for bolt action, lieutenant and man, both with SMGs. And then the last guy, I just made a crew type guy carrying some kind of container. I think it holds 2-inch mortar rounds possibly, but he's going to be just a crew member for some of the other weapon screws that we're going to be building. And that was it for any kit bashing for this build with these plastics. Was some arms from the USMC box, some arms from the Grenadier box, and that was it. The rest is just all straight off the sprue. I have gone with my traditional 2-man bases that I've been using for years. It's mainly to reduce the footprint size, as a 40 mil base is too small for 2 guys. 60 mil base is too big, so I came up with a design of a pill base glued to half of a 40 millimeter base, and it's a nice size. They fit on there, and the weapons don't hang over too bad, except for in this case the boys certainly does, but it's a super long rifle, so it's kind of hard to avoid it. But the Brens, they don't hang over. 2-inch mortar doesn't hang over either, so it's a super easy thing to do. You just glue a half 40 millimeter base to one of these pill bases, and that's it. Very easy to make, and it makes a nice footprint size for gaming, getting them into buildings, getting them in trenches, and any other place that you want to put them on the board that a bigger base might not fit. Other than that, the build was fine. The guys went together pretty well. Some of the prone figures were a little bit of a pain in the butt. Like finding a rifle to fit the prone guys was not easy. I kind of had to put a sandbag under this guy's arm to make it look like he was resting on there, even though it's really not. But it gives the illusion that he is. I did a 2 prone Bren team, which came out pretty good. He's handing him a Bren magazine. The rifle's kind of just held up, so that these 2 prone guys together look pretty well, or pretty good. And then I wound up going with kneeling for the other Bren team, and then two guys standing up for the 3rd Bren team. And then there's one more dual kneeling, and that's the boys AT rifle, and I just gave this guy a pistol. So a little bit tough to get some good poses for the assistant gunners on these, as they're not designed to be used as such. I think they're designed to be used with either the prone Bren, the 2-inch mortar, or the boys. So yeah, a little bit tough there, but otherwise overall very easy kit to put together. And you may notice one squad is primed. I ordered the Army Painter paint that I'm going to be using as the base coat, and I am going to be using Sonic Sledgehammer's painting guide for Sikh infantry. It's a quick painting guide. But I'm going to modify it a little bit and probably use some of the techniques that I got from his Italian quick painting video. Kind of combine the two to do these. So I'm not going to do it exactly the same as he did, but I'm certainly going to be stealing a lot of his ideas. And the color that I got for painting was this Skeleton Bone by Army Painter. So this is really going to speed up the process, as I won't have to paint the uniforms like I did with the Italians. The base coat is the uniform color, so that's going to really speed things up. So moving on to the support, I haven't built any of it yet. I did order a second box of 8th Army, the same box, just a single box with the 30 guys in it. I'm going to make another section out of it, so I'll have an extra section of guys, just more riflemen, another brand if I want to add a 4th section as a support choice in a chain of command game. And I also ordered it for the heads, the Seek heads that I was going to use to replace heads on the weapons crews. I think I'm kind of leaning away from doing that though, as I was comparing the size of the heads on the metal weapons crew teams, and they're quite a bit smaller, and I think the Seek heads might look a little bit large for these bodies. And they suffered kind of the same thing that the Italians metal ranges suffered, comparing the new plastics with the old metals. They have come out with new Italian metals as well, which scale a lot better. But these are the stuff that you can get for the 8th Army, and they are quite a bit smaller. So on top of that, there's also some that are going to be hard to modify. You know, like this guy here, and there's some other guys that are holding their hands over their ears and whatnot, and those would be pretty tough to chop the heads off when their hands are touching their head. Those would be really hard to kit bash, I think. So I think between that and the size difference in the heads with these guys and the metals, all of the support weapons are probably just going to stay British, and I'll just have the infantry platoon as Sikhs. I don't know yet. I haven't fully decided on that. But that's the way I'm leaning at the moment. In the last part of the update, Padilla has printed out all the vehicles, I should say. We come up with a ton of them, so there's going to be quite a few vehicles with these guys. Matildas, some even that self-propelled gun, the Bishop. We're going to have a couple India pattern carriers, obviously, because we have Indian troops, and they're super cool. It's like a Bren carrier on wheels, and they look super awesome. So we're going to have a couple of those, and just various other desert British vehicles as well. So anyway, that's it for the update. So we got the platoon built, got some of them primed. I'm going to start painting them, doing some test painting on these guys, and then I'll prime the rest. And we're getting another box, and I'll build another section. We'll start putting these weapons teams together. The smaller ones on the 60 mil bases I could start. I have ordered some larger oval size bases to hold the bigger guns, like the 25 pounder and the 6 pounder. Those haven't arrived yet, but there's plenty of other stuff to do. So anyway, that'll do it for update number 1. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you for the next one.